Hello, I'm Reverend Michael Mugford, and I'm in ministry at Cole Harbour Woodside United Church. I'm pleased to offer this spiritual reflection for United Churches for Dartmouth today. I've been thinking about our lives as disciples lately. Disciples, followers of Jesus, however you want to call it. And I wondered, how is it we become disciples of Jesus? I mean, in the Gospels, we find that in the early part of Jesus' ministry, he seemed to simply walk up to people and told them to follow him, and they did. It's puzzled me as to how he was able to convince the 12 named disciples and all of the unnamed disciples to follow him. I've heard people suggest that he was incredibly charismatic, and so were drawn to him, and others suggest that it was the Spirit that moved people. It helped them to follow, and others suggest that perhaps maybe people got to know Jesus slowly over time, and those simply were not recorded in that particular way in the written Gospels that we have. Regardless as to how they came to become his disciples, he called men and women of diverse backgrounds to follow him, and they did. And this leads me to encourage us to think about our place as modern disciples of Jesus. How do we go into the world and make disciples? In the past, I think we did a pretty respectable job of helping people understand what it means to be a disciple. But back then, it seems as though we remember church schools being full, pews were fuller, faith was a larger part of family and community life. But today, I think we need to adjust our approach and how we help people learn about Jesus and how to become disciples and how to support them in their lives of faith. It has been suggested that mainline Protestant churches, of which the United Church of Canada is the largest in Canada, we've not done a good job in helping people in their faith and faith lives to grow more deeply in our modern times. As much as it is still important to help our young people to learn about their faith in a safe and meaningful way, as adults, we too need to be able to ask questions and explore our faith in a meaningful way. I think we have been thinking about, and I've been thinking about, the ways in which we can do a better job with sharing our faith with those of us who have been in church for many, many years. And for those who may not have ever been to church or who are experiencing a desire for something more spiritual, more meaningful, and maybe adding a greater depth to life that helps us to address our concerns and our cares and our fears. Faith may be an individual thing, but I believe firmly that it is lived out in community, in family, in church, and in society. Worship is a time where we can learn some things, but it is when we intentionally interact with each other, ask questions, share experiences, explore together, eat together, and so much more, that we can deepen our spirituality and our lives of faith. The United Church of Canada has challenged us to look at our faith with words deep, bold, and daring, which is expanded to deep spirituality, bold discipleship, and daring justice. How will we today be bold like the early disciples? Where will we learn to deepen our faith? How will we have a spirituality that will help us engage in the work of justice if we don't have a clear sense of who we are as Jesus' disciples? Just some questions for us to think about today. I hope you will. Take care and God bless.